Math 122, week number 9 discussion board follows up on last week. You picked some data. You made a box plot. Histogram version this week. Let's check it out. Speaking of what we did last week, you had your own data set. Between 30 and 50 values. I saw some movie data. I saw countries. I'm a sports person. I picked my Los Angeles Lakers. But you have your data. For me, it was the points the Lakers scored. If you have any questions about your data, please let me know. But from that data that you picked last week, we need to create a histogram. We need to use Excel for it. I'm going to walk through those steps. Hopefully you'll have that, be able to follow through on the histogram. Given the data, given Excel, first thing we need to do is get to Excel, make sure we understand how to enter the data, sort it, and organize it. So I'm going to Excel here, and you see my data. It's all up in this little rectangular grid. Problem is, it's going to be a lot more simple if I can organize it straight up and down. So you see, I just go in between the two, take the numbers, but I just rearranged them. Nothing. I don't think mind blowing. I don't know for a lot of yours data, it was already in this up and down form. Now, next thing I'm going to do in order to understand this data better, I'm going to highlight it. So I click that A because all the data is in the A column. I go up here on top of my Excel and I go to Sort and Filter, smallest to largest. Well, I must have hit largest to smallest. Let me try that again. Smallest to largest. There we go. Smallest to largest. The organization obviously is going to help when I'm putting my numbers into my histogram. Now, histograms, a fancy way to talk about a histogram is they're bar charts like this. Well, how do I get the different bars? I need to get different groups for my numbers. So looking at my numbers, this is sort of a, for lack of a better term, this is an artistic thing. You need to use your brain to say, well, I'm thinking I could group these by 80s, 90s, 100s, 110s, 120s. And it's a judgment call because you might pick another breakdown. You might pick, well, by 5s, 80 to 85, and so on. It's a judgment call, but I'm going to go just by 10s. I'm going to say the 80s. So watch what I'm going to type here. I'm going to type 80 to 89. I didn't go to 90 because that's the next one. 90 to 99. You get the concept here. 100 to 109, 110 to 119, 120, and I'll just put a plus here because I don't think there's anything beyond that. I've got my groups. The first step was to sort my data. Then I have to come up with my own groups, and that is a judgment call. Somebody else goes by 5s, and that's fine. Once you have your groups, next up you got to count. Sometimes we call it frequency if we're trying to sound mathematical, but the frequency says between 80 and 89, let's count. There's 3. Type it in. And this is, I don't want to say a tedious process, but it's step by step. You got to take care of it on your own. So now I'm looking at the 90s, and I count 4 of them. I click 4. Hundreds, okay, I'm thinking I got 5. And you get the concept. This is nothing too mind-blowing here. I got another 4 right here, and for the 120s I got 4 as well. Okay, that's great. So data, sorted, groups, and then it's really just counting. Not hard, but like I use the word tedious. Last step, let's get that graph, highlight everything, go up top. Now, you may have a different version of Excel, and I know some people using Mac computers. I'm using a Windows computer. The Excel might look different, but on my version, you highlight everything you just created here, go up to Insert, and it has all different types of charts right here. There's 2 different types of bar charts. You can get straight up and down. You can go sideways. Your pick. I just go for the straight 2D. And look at that. I got it right here. I have a nice little graph. I got the bars. It tells me the scores. It tells me how many people score. So the biggest scores, most frequently the Lakers will score between 100 and 109 points. And guess what? Let's go retype that title. I go up here and I say Lakers points scored. I've got a graph right there. I have a histogram. I can click it. I can right click. And you see it says copy. You can take that graph and then copy it. Put it into Blackboard. So that's what I'm looking for. I am looking for your bar chart histogram solved by Friday. Now, look at down here. I said I have that video. Well, this is December. Okay, this is from last term. I said I'd have that video by Tuesday. That's my fault. It's coming up on Thursday. If you're a little behind on the Friday post, I will be sympathetic to that. But look at down here. I'm saying check the post for other people and respond, comments, or feedback. That hasn't been a perfect cycle of that. I'm not seeing that in discussion boards. So really, if you're late on Friday, I understand, but I'm not going to understand if you're not doing your comments. Please just get in there. Say, hey, good graph. I didn't know about the movies. I didn't know about the population of Western Europe, whatever the data is. So that's what I'm looking for. Down here, I'm talking about maximum and minimum. Next video, I will get one coming shortly about that process. But as far as making the graph, hopefully this is a tutorial to get you on that track. Get that up on Blackboard as soon as you can.